Hi, welcome to Celebrating Culture. This week we're coming to you from the fairgrounds of New Orleans, where the Jazz Fest takes place. Louisiana is known for having great festivals. Everybody knows about Mardi Gras and Jazz Fest, but what goes on in between? We got about 150 other festivals, from Po' Boys to White Linen Night, Orange Festivals, the Tickfaw 200 boat race. This week we're going to bring those festivals to you. Stay tuned, we'll be right back. Our New Orleans Insider Tour app features a Statue, Stories, and Spirits tour. It's a great way to learn about New Orleans. There are over 150 markers that all have a little story. Here, we're at the marker to Edward Wisner, a man who was told to come to Louisiana to improve his health. He invented a pump and drained over 30,000 acres of land. The royalties of gas and oil now go to New Orleans, Tulane, LSU, and the Salvation Army. We have a lot of great stories in our app that'll add to your enjoyment and appreciation of New Orleans. It's simple to use with GPS, text, photos, and video. Hi, welcome back to Celebrating Culture. I'm here at WWOZ Studios in the heart of the French Quarter with Beth Arroyo Utterback.
Thank you so much for being here. It's so great to have you.
Thanks for being on the show.
Yes.
So Beth, New Orleans is obviously a place where people go to have a great time and have fun. And I'm looking at your smile, the energy, and you guys create that.
The wonderful thing about WWOZ is what we like to say is if you can't live in New Orleans, let New Orleans live in you. And one of the things that we're really proud of here is not only bringing New Orleans music and culture to the people in our city and in the state, but people all over the world listen to us and support WWOZ. We not only bring new acts to the world like Tank and the Bangas or Trombone Shorty, which isn't so new anymore, but what we do is we preserve the wonderful jazz, not only Satchmo and Mahalia Jackson, Fats Domino, Dr. John, who passed away recently. The thing about WWOZ is that their music's going to live on forever because we just don't play the music when they pass away. That's just part of what we do. So we preserve the culture. Louis Prima you're going to hear. All of these wonderful artists you're going to continue to hear on WWOZ.
And you have people drop in, like Lena Prima will drop in, Irma Thomas drops in.
A lot of times, like an artist will just call, they may have written a new song, or they may just be promoting something, or they just may want to come in for a visit and help us out, and they'll come in and sing a couple of songs for us, or just come talk about what they're doing. It's wonderful. And the great thing, Charles, is that not only is it artists from here, but artists from all over, and fans of the station drop in from all over the place. Yesterday we had somebody from Hong Kong here, just that loves the station and listens in Hong Kong, and decided to come by and see us. People just see the sign, because we're right here in the middle of the French Market. They feel part of OZ, so they want to come and see what it looks like. One of the things that's so unique about WWOZ is we're a community public radio station, and actually all the voices that you hear on air, all of our show hosts are actually volunteers. No one is getting paid for their time, and these are people that have been here, some of them 38 years, 20 years, 25 years. They've been coming here to volunteer at WWOZ, and they have an encyclopedic knowledge of their genre. For instance, we have people that do contemporary jazz, that's their focus. We have the traditional jazz, we have blues, hours and hours of preparation to get ready for their show, and they've been doing this as volunteers for decades. The other thing that's super popular is our live wire, and that is at the top of every odd hour every day. We talk about all the live music that's happening in New Orleans that night. And sometimes the live wire can go on for 2 or 3 minutes, and it doesn't even really cover everything, because that's how many live bands are playing in any single night here in New Orleans.
Standing Montreal for 2 sets at Snug Harbor. The Dapper Dandies at BMC. Matt Lindler at the Bombay Club. The Crescent City Coffee Grinders at the Bourbon Bar.
Obviously, you guys are an integral part of Jazz Fest.
We are. You know, we are owned by the Jazz and Heritage Foundation, and so we're obviously like integrally involved in not only Jazz Fest, but also broadcasting Jazz Fest to the world, because as much as we love for people to come visit New Orleans and attend Jazz Fest, it's not practical for everybody. So the wonderful thing is that we broadcast live every day of Jazz Fest so that people all over the world can feel like they're at the Jazz Fest.
The fact that you've got that many bands playing with those large crowds at every stage.
It's an incredible deal, really, when you think about it. I mean, they have not only all the wonderful music that you can enjoy all day long, but also all the wonderful vendors, all the terrific food and drinks and everything. I think it's a great value, and people just having a great time, and that's the wonderful thing.
Irma Thomas, her tent was packed.
Yes, her tent was packed, and it was not only standing room only, they had to tell some people that they couldn't even fit in. But the great thing about OZ is that you could hear it live while it was happening. And that's one of the things that we're so proud that we do here, not only with Jazz Fest, but being here in the French Quarter. We broadcast live from the French Quarter Fest. We also broadcast live from the Crescent City Blues and Barbecue Festival. We do a lot with the Satchmo Fest as well, which is every August here. So we're very involved in the community.
Well, I noticed this year at the French Quarter Fest, I talked to people from Baltimore, California, Washington State. It was incredible the amount of tourism that come in for the French Quarter Festival.
French Quarter Fest has grown by leaps and bounds just in the last few years. I mean, when it first started out years ago, I remember there was like just a couple of stages, and it was really, really local. And then just every year they add more and more stages and more people come.
The French Quarter Festival brings in the Jazz Museum now. The Jazz Museum must be a big windfall for you guys.
Well, the Jazz Museum and WWOZ work closely together. You know, we always are there to help promote all of their exhibits that have anything to do with the music and culture of New Orleans. And so, you know, they're great friends of ours.
I understand that the Louis Prima exhibit, you're part of that.
We love Louis Prima here at WWOZ. When Louis Prima exhibit came, we worked very hard with the Jazz Museum to promote that exhibit and let people know about it. And it's really a phenomenal exhibit. It's so wonderful to have them like a block away, because here we are keeping the music of Louis Prima alive to the world, helping to keep that music alive, and then having this beautiful exhibit right down the street. It just all ties in so beautifully.
And there's one other gentleman, and that was Cosimo Matassa.
Yes.
And he had a studio not too far from here.
Well, you know, Cosimo Matassa over on Rampart Street, he's like an integral part of New Orleans music. And, you know, he merged everything into what they called like the New Orleans sound, basically. He not only worked with Little Richard, but of course, Fats Domino, Irma Thomas. There's so many wonderful New Orleans stories, and Cosimo Matassa certainly should not be forgotten.
Absolutely, and it's great that we've continued with WWOZ being in the French Quarter to have that heartbeat or that soul right in the center where all this music comes from.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I agree. And I always love it when people see our sign and just decide to just pop on up and they say, you know, like, I'm a member from Wyoming, or I listen to you all the time from California, or I've come all the way from Germany, and I saw your sign. I couldn't not pass without coming to say hi and how much we love to listen to your station.
Great.
It's like the soundtrack of so many people's lives, and we really we appreciate that, and we value that, and we take that very seriously.
Yeah. Well, Beth, I want to thank you for being on the show, and thank you for individually what you've done for New Orleans through your career with WYS and now with WWOZ, and for what WWOZ does.
Thank you so much, and thank you for being here, and thank you for doing what you're doing and telling our stories.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back with more of Celebrating Culture. Our News spent 5 years touring Louisiana. We've interviewed countless numbers of people. The people that make it happen, that put on Mardi Gras, the chefs, the artists, the backbone of Louisiana. We've taken those interviews and made a show called Celebrating Culture. But we've also taken those interviews and put them in a tour app, New Orleans Insider Tours. To download the apps, all you have to do is point your phone at the flow code in the camera mode. Once you have the app downloaded, you'll have access to putting together the best game plan to experience in Louisiana. You can start with Little Palermo, which is 50 points of interest on the Italian community, and then go to Statue Stories and Spirits, over 150 stops in the French Quarter and CBD. Where to dine in New Orleans, what rooftop bars give you the best view, how to see the Gulf of Mexico from the coastal towns, driving up to the Bonnie and Clyde Museum near Shreveport, or up to Vicksburg. New Orleans and Louisiana are must-see for everyone, and there's so much to see. So we hope you enjoy it, and as we say here, let the good times roll. Jay, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Good to be here.
And you've been running the TICFA 200 for many years. What's it like?
Man, it's one of the events I look forward to every year. When I'm in town, I'm definitely getting ready for the TICFA 200 and letting all my friends know it's time to go boating again.
It's nationwide.
It is the largest poker run in, I would say, the world, but definitely in the U.S.
400 boats, maybe more.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey guys, I'm Jeff Ford from Denham Springs. We're here at the 2016 Tickfall 200. You can't beat a better event. Weather's beautiful. I got my friends from West Coast here, Oklahoma. We all representing.
Hey, I'm Tom Buis. I'm part of the Tickfall 200 Poker Run, and we're down here with over 200 boats, and we are out here having a good time with people throughout all parts of the United States. I'm from Austin. We got people from Louisiana all the way to the Midwest, to the East Coast, to the West Coast. All get down here, get together, have a great time, put some money towards charity, put some money towards the ecosystem out here, enjoy our friends and family, and all enjoy ourselves a great weekend boating out on the Pontchartrain and on the Tickfall River. Can't beat it. Good times.
Hi, I'm John Caporel. I'm from Southern California, specifically San Diego, California. We got a telephone call from our good friend Jeff Ford from Denham Springs to come out to South Louisiana to enjoy a little bit about the culture, a lot about the boating. We're here for the Tickfall 200. It's one of the largest boating events in the country. This is our third year in a row. We come 1,900 miles, not because we have to, but because we want to. It's an amazing venue. All of our friends are starting to now gravitate towards South Louisiana. The food, the culture, the boating is unparalleled in America. I boat all over the country, but year in and year out, I come here first. The Cajun South Louisiana style of hospitality is very laid back, very nurturing, welcome. You feel like you're at home. And that is, in a nutshell, how I would wrap it up. It's a family home style environment.
Tickfall 200, it's not actually a race that you win, it's a poker hand.
Absolutely. I mean, lots of boats want to show their muscle, and there's definitely people hooking up and seeing who has more acceleration or a little more top end. It's a boat show, second to none.
You got about a dozen places to stop.
Yeah, absolutely. It's all about a good time. You know, it's about friends being together, boats being shiny, and boats being loud.
But understand, you're one of the best people to win a race.
Well, if it was a race, it'd be a different thing, but I'd need a sponsor to have one fast enough to run that.
So here you are outside of New Orleans in Slidell, but you're like one of the top race boat drivers in the world.
I've been very fortunate to have good equipment and good teams and lots of luck. I've won many championships.
So Jay, tell me a little bit about Crazy Charlie.
In friendly boating, Charlie is just a legend. He is the Tickfall 200, and it's done in his memory. He loved boating and he loves people. And that's why this event took off, because you felt at home. People come from California to do this because of the hospitality the Louisiana people show them.
When you go to the Blood River Marina, that is a very eclectic place.
That's what makes him set apart from the rest. Consider him an artist when it comes to style.
We're coming to you from the Tickfall River and the house of Paul Woods. Paul has known Charlie Albert for many years. Charlie Albert is the founder of the Tickfall 200. He is just this wonderful personality that brought in a lot of people to build this event and get it going.
He certainly did. It was his vision, it was his passion, and I can still remember when he first would get on his boat back then when we did the shotgun starts, before it was a staggered
Which
start.
I understand was right here.
It was right here. He'd get on his boat, he'd dress like a pirate, and he'd be standing right out there with a sword. All these boats, millions of dollars of boats, millions of horsepower sitting behind him. And this guy, Crazy Charlie, crazy as he could be, he dropped that thing and there they would come, all that horsepower would
So
come
you'd
by.
have like 100 boats just going down the river in a shotgun start. It's like it's the Indy 500, really.
Right, it is the Indy 500. I've seen jet engines on these boats, and you'll see that they've even gotten more coordinated now. You'll see whole swimsuit and shirts matching the boat. It's good for boating, it's good for the local economy. And I think it's really good, for people in general. They're just having a great time, and it's just so few places you can go and have fun anymore. And this is one of them.
And actually, if you can't make it to Blood River, you can go to any of the bars along the Blue Crab on the South Shore. You go to Sunbuns. You could actually see this by just picking a place to go.
Or you can go to Middendorf's, and I think now over by Sunbuns, they can even take you over by water taxi there.
Absolutely. With Victoria Portugal of Sunbuns. Victoria, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having us.
What is a poker run?
So a lot of people think that the poker runs, you have to be the first to the bar to win, but it's not the case at all. You have so many stops that you have to stop at, and you get poker cards at each stop, and then you go to your last stop, which is usually who's putting on the poker run, and you just play poker, and the best hand wins.
So you get a card for every stop? Is that how it works?
You do get a card for every stop. Can't open them, of course, till you get to your last stop, and when you're at your last stop, You play your, they'll have a dealer and you play your cards. And
So it's like an entry fee. You put up your money, and then you could win a prize, but at the same time, the money raised then goes to a cause.
Correct.
It's so great to see people taking care of the water issues. There's a lot going on in Louisiana waterways.
Absolutely.
Both the coastal erosion, making sure that fish species and marine species don't go extinct. You guys are really big on the Tickfaw 200. This is where they kick it off?
Yes, yes. We host the Powerboat Nation Party on Fridays. That is the first day of the Tickfaw 200, the biggest day on the river. We have the biggest party ever.
This is nationwide.
Nationwide. We have people come in from California, New York, Kansas. We had people come in from Canada this year.
Boats galore. I mean, it seemed like
absolutely.
this pier was just
football fields long. It was
unbelievable.
insane.
Helicopters even.
Yes, we had a couple helicopters fly over and take shots for us.
You have a lot of other events. You do a lot of fundraising.
Yes,
There's a check. I saw you're doing some fundraising for the water.
We do a lot of fundraising. We do 3 poker runs in the year. We have one at the beginning of the year, one around July and August. This year it's in July, and one at the end of the year. The middle one, the one in July this year, we do donate our proceeds to the Tangipahoa Parish Water Patrol.
So New Orleans has its own powerboat chapter, so to speak. I mean, the powerboat nation of these people really do a lot of social philanthropy. Take care of the water issues.
Absolutely. They take care of their own, and they definitely take care of the water out here. When Steve and Butch took over Sunbuns, they definitely revamped it and made it what it is today. I mean, they made it kid-friendly. They made it big enough so that families and plenty of boats, as you saw for Tickfaw, can come here and we can hold them. I mean, we have a beach right out front for the kids.
I also noticed you guys have great food here. Where's your brisket come from?
Our brisket comes from the barbecue station in Independence, our brisket and our pulled pork, and it is to die for.
I got to taste it, because actually you brought some out for me here.
I did.
Wow.
Really good.
What am I going to wash it down with here?
Today you're washing it down with a Cyclone. This is our 40-ounce fish bowl.
So listen, come down to Sunbuns, great staff, a lot of fun, great music, just the beach, everything you need. Brisket, shots, cyclones.
Best
what more
drinks
can
on the river.
Best drinks you can ask for. And you're raising funds for a good cause too. So cheers, Victoria.
Cheers.
Celebrating Culture is brought to you by Awe News. Awe News also produces New Orleans Insider Tours, which are 10 self-guided tours of New Orleans and Louisiana. To download the apps, all you have to do is point your phone at the flow code in the camera mode, and you're ready to really experience Louisiana. Welcome back to Celebrating Culture. We're here in Buras at the Orange Festival. And this is a great festival at Fort Jackson. And I'm with the former Queen, Jade. Jade, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
So tell us about Buras. I mean, a lot has happened. Katrina, this Fort Jackson, you got a lot of history here.
Absolutely. Buras is a small town in Plaquemines Parish made up of an amazing community of resilient people. Speaking of Katrina, before Katrina, this community was thriving, full of citrus, full of our livelihood and our commodities here in Plaquemines, such as our oil and gas, our seafood, but mostly citrus. So we're glad to have you here on our 72nd Plaquemines Parish Orange Festival.
Awesome. Now, historically, I heard that an Italian ambassador back around the 1840s or 50s brought citrus here.
This gift was sent over by a Sicilian ambassador of citrus, and that's how we got this abundance of citrus here in Plaquemines Parish.
And the weather, I mean, it's just like Sicily in a way. It's warm, it's humid.
It works out perfectly. We're on the water, so it works out perfectly
And
as
then
well.
today, I mean, there are so many queens. You can just see the community and the culture of Louisiana. I saw the petroleum and shrimp queen, the frog queen, the Sicilian queen, I mean, the sugar queen, the cotton queen, it goes on.
They are here. They're at every Louisiana festival, just really embracing their culture and really just true ambassadors.
And like 3 competitions here.
Yeah, so today we had the kumquat stuffing competition, the longest navel peel, and we also had the fastest satsuma eating contest.
And the boots.
It's a rainy day here in Buras, so we had our boot decorating contest, and we also had a basket. The girls went picking for citrus earlier today, so they had a nice basket to bring their citrus home in.
Now I saw like some people put 12 kumquats in their mouth today.
Yes. It's a very intense competition. You can't smush them. They're all full. And actually this year's crops, they look pretty large.
They were large.
They were large. I think one of our past queens holds the record of all queens visiting, and of course orange queens. I think she had like 26. I don't know how you do
26.
that. 26. They must have been small that year. But
they were only like 12 this year.
No, they were huge, huge. So that means we have a good crop.
Okay, and then peeling an orange.
Yes.
That was serious competition today.
Yeah, so we had the longest navel peel, which the girls, they get very technical. They use their knives and they work on this navel to get the longest peel. And I think we had a 16-foot table, and some of the girls, it was past the table.
Passed.
Yeah, and we love how competitive the girls are, especially with citrus. So
Every week almost during the summer, do they go from place to place competing?
yeah, actually, it's not just the summer, it's every weekend. It's a mixture of festivals as well as pageants, and these girls go out representing, of course, some representing their hometown, and they go there and they compete to become the face of their festival.
I heard you are a judge now.
I actually got to judge a Sicilian pageant in Independence, and that was very, very interesting. It was wonderful.
Anything unique they do there?
Their pageant is always, because Sicilian, very Catholic, it was the St. Joseph's Day altar. And it was fabulous to actually go to a St. Joseph's Day altar, to have the whole community of Independence, they're there, and they had their cookies, and they had just the whole St. Joseph's Day altar just full of things. So it kind of tied it in all together, that Sicilian heritage.
Right.
That's actually just for the pageant, and then for the festival, they had a meatball throwing competition.
Throwing?
Yeah, throwing. You get a partner, and you throw. Actually, I remember in my day, I think I got like second or third place, and I was paired up with the Strawberry Queen, so it was great.
Now, also, we're on the grounds of Fort Jackson.
We are.
Which is a great place. Any person from Louisiana should come here just to see this.
Absolutely.
When we were thinking about the English coming up, the War of 1812, this is where they come through.
Absolutely.
Fort Jackson's kind of built here because they realized we needed to defend Louisiana in the future.
Yes.
So this is a great spot to realize what happened. Eurus is almost at the end.
We are the end of the road. There's actually a sign that says
There is.
that.
And I saw a marker that says 1699. They had a Mardi Gras over there. So if somebody wants to know more about the Citrus Festival, where do they go?
So you can go to the Plaquemines Parish Orange Festival website, as well as our Facebook page. We have our Instagram as well. Every first full weekend in December here in Fort Jackson.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Jade, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
All right. We'll be right back with more Celebrating Culture. Our news spent 5 years touring Louisiana. We've interviewed countless numbers of people. The people that make it happen, that put on Mardi Gras, the chefs, the artists, the backbone of Louisiana. We've taken those interviews and made a show called Celebrating Culture. But we've also taken those interviews and put them in a tour app, New Orleans Insider Tours. To download the apps, all you have to do is point your phone at the flow code in the camera mode. Once you have the app downloaded, you'll have access to putting together the best game plan to experience in Louisiana. You can start with Little Palermo, which is 50 points of interest on the Italian community, and then go to Statue Stories and Spirits, over 150 stops in the French Quarter and CBD. Where to dine in New Orleans, what rooftop bars give you the best view, how to see the Gulf of Mexico from the coastal towns, driving up to the Bonnie and Clyde Museum near Shreveport, or up to Vicksburg. New Orleans and Louisiana are must-see for everyone, and there's so much to see. So we hope you enjoy it, and as we say here, let the good times roll. Hi, welcome back to Celebrating Culture. I'm here with Lori Reed, who's the owner of Ariodonte Gallery on Julia and Camp Street. Lori, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks, Charles. I'm honored.
So you are the corner of White Linen Night.
Yes.
What is White Linen Night?
We call it Whitney White Linen Night, and it's something that the Arts District of New Orleans puts on in conjunction with the CAC, mostly for locals in the beginning. One year we had 14,000 people show up. But now the tourists want to come. People are...
It is so big.
It has gotten great.
The music,
yeah.
the food, the whole street's blocked off. Thousands of people on the street walking the art galleries.
Yes. It's a lot of fun. It's really hot, and it's white linen, and you really should wear white. Lots of people are away for the summer. They come back, we welcome each other, and shows some fabulous art.
And I've seen that. I mean, when I've been here, you have so many great artists, and you focus on local artists.
We are both fine art and crafts, and we try really hard, especially since Hurricane Katrina, to do local artists. I mean, we have so many fantastic local artists.
And I noticed Chester Allen does jewelry.
Yes, Chester is almost always featured here with us. We've got lots of his work.
I'm Chester Allen. I'm an artist at Ariodonte Gallery here, the first and friendliest gallery on the block. And we're here at White Linen Night. I call myself a philosopher with a ball peen hammer. And basically, there are things that happen in life, and then I go on my alchemic riffs with that. Jewelry and sculptures and wall art.
White Linen Night's a commemoration of back in the late 1800s, early 1900s, the elite of New Orleans used to dress in white linen in the middle of summer, the hottest time of year, to be as cool as they possibly can, and everyone used to come out and circulate around the quarter just to meet all the new neighbors. It's typical New Orleans, c'est le bon temps roulé.
I also like to paint New Orleans because of this wonderful, vibrant, colorful city. I feel like it speaks to me, and I feel like the city actually chose me because I painted New Orleans way before I moved here. And I came to the realization that I live somewhere else and I paint New Orleans, so that doesn't really make that much sense. I love painting New Orleans in such way that it doesn't just show you the picture of a place that you have seen or a place that you know, but that you feel the magic of it and the vibrance of it and the life that's like the beating heart of the city is in the painting.
And also, it's not just August. The first Saturday of every month is kind of a special Saturday?
That is correct. Yeah, first Saturday of August is White Linen Night, but yes, the first Saturday of every month is what we call the Art Walk. All of the galleries in the Arts District will set a new show, roll out the red carpet for everybody, open the doors.
Maybe a little bit of wine here and there.
Yeah, a little bit of wine.
There's some great dining. So if you start here and you end up there, you can...
Well, that is exactly what's happening. People are mixing in a dinner or a drink, a meal, along with the Art Walk.
If somebody wants to find you, do you have a website?
Yes, so we are ariadantegallery.com.
Okay.
We also have a presence on Facebook and Instagram. And then we're 535 Julia Street.
Lori, thanks for being on the show and all you're
Pleasure.
doing for White Linen Night and New Orleans art. Thank you.
And thank you, Charles.
All right. Stay tuned. We'll be right back with more Celebrating Culture. Celebrating Culture is brought to you by Awe News. Awe News also produces New Orleans Insider Tours, which are 10 self-guided tours of New Orleans and Louisiana. To download the apps, all you have to do is point your phone at the flow code in the camera mode, and you're ready to really experience Louisiana. We hope you've enjoyed this episode of Celebrating Culture. Louisiana has a tremendous amount of festivals. Really, nobody does it better. Come to Louisiana and feed your soul.
If I get a hand, if I have 7 points in that hand and I win it, I think I met Jesus because I have never won a single thing in my life.
You know, and for the ending, I'm going to do the shot.
Nicely done.
Dang, that's good. And Paul, I want to thank you for being on the show and tell us a lot about Charlie Albert.
That's right, Charlie. Charlie Albert and Charlie Masala.
Oh yes, my boots are really cute.
Tell me about your boots.
They were green, and I painted a lot of different Italian things on them. Actually, like kind of like my apron. It's really cute. I had like the Leaning Tower of Pisa and like pizza, tomatoes, grapes, cheese, pasta.